Have you got your ticket?
Yeah, that and your good wishes. You sure you can't add anything more?
You're looking for $100,000 in jewels. They're with someone on that plane.
I got it. I board and ask everyone if they're involved in a jewel heist. If so, I'd like the jewels.
Not quite. Now, don't forget the brunette. That's the tip.
Still pretty thin, isn't it?
Yeah, very thin. But we have to follow it. Lieutenant Saunders of the Chicago Police will be waiting for you at Midway. If you're lucky, just give him your selection and come on home.
Sure, but about that brunette, I just counted 3.
Shannon, have a nice trip.
Step number 1. On the 12th day of August, year unspecified, Special Investigator Shannon boarded Flight 729 for Chicago. He was listed as a passenger under the name of Samuels. $100,000 in jewels had been stolen from a salesman the day before in a Manhattan hotel. Following that, an informant called the district attorney's office and said the jewels would be found on Flight 729. The tipster stated they were being carried to a fence in Chicago by a girl whom he described only as a brunette. In a conference with interested law enforcement agencies, it was decided that our office would place an undercover man on the plane to follow up the very thin lead. The plane was scheduled for arrival in Chicago at 3:27. Shannon's job in that 2 hours was to talk to the 3 brunette girls on the plane and, if possible, uncover the suspect.
Already I'm tired. If they could just find a way to fly us to the airport. It takes as long to get out here as it does to get to Chicago, you know?
Yeah, it's a real hassle. My name's Ed Samuels.
You don't look like an Ed Samuel. But lots of people look like what they aren't. Take me, for instance. I go by the name Elaine Stevens.
You want me to put this on top for you?
No, it'll be all right.
I've never been in a plane before. Have you ever flown to Chicago before, Mr.
Clayton. No, I normally walk, but this time I thought I'd be a little different.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mainliner Flight 729. On our flight to Chicago this afternoon, we'll be cruising at 11,000 feet altitude with our cabin comfortably pressurized to 5,000 feet. We will fly over Allentown, Pennsylvania, Cleveland, Toledo, and the southern tip of Lake Michigan. Weather en route is clear, and we will arrive at Chicago, Midway Airport, 3:27 p.m. Snacks will be served shortly. Thank you.
going to Chicago on business or pleasure?
My business is my pleasure.
You're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I guess I am. I tell jokes for a living. It can be a lot at Source, too, but most of the time it's fun. I found when I was 8 years old that I liked to talk, so I figured I might as well make a living out of the thing that I like to do best.
That's a good philosophy. You're a comedian, then.
I like to think so, but the point has been argued many times. What do you do?
Just a salesman. Kind of boring. Where are you going to play? I'd like to come and see you while I'm in Chicago.
Oh, it's just some dive on State Street. I don't think you'd care for it.
A laugh's good wherever you find it.
Then you'd care for it. The whole place is one big joke.
Excuse me.
You want to play a game of gin?
No,
I'm easy to get along with. Pick your own game.
I don't like cards.
To tell the truth, I don't either. I'd rather just talk. You're home in Chicago?
No,
You've been there before?
dozens of times.
See anybody you know?
There must be miles in between some of those houses. You don't see that kind of space in Brooklyn. Gee, I wonder if Chicago's like that.
Does it matter?
Well, sure it does. Why, I get lost in an empty room.
Why don't you try a small town?
Huh?
Think what would happen if you got lost in a crowded room.
Beautiful day up here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. Too bad we can't go out and enjoy it.
I don't think that'll work on a plane.
Thanks for the advice, but I like to try things.
How long do you think you'll be in Chicago this time?
Depends. Maybe forever. Sick of New York. How about you?
Oh, not long. As soon as the business is finished, I'll be on my way back home.
Lucky you.
What do you mean?
You've got a home. So lucky you.
You know, you're a very attractive girl. If you don't mind my saying so. You should think about losing that chip.
I don't mind your saying so. But Hard Knocks makes chips. That's my story in a nutshell, brother.
I've been trying to think of a gift for my wife, and your bag looks just like the thing. Mind if I look at it? It's a beauty, isn't it?
You can pick it up in any department store.
Yeah? I think she'll like it. Does it have plenty of room?
The space is adequate.
I'll wager money that you're a model. Am I right?
You should become a gambler.
I've always had that knack. Being a salesman, traveling around all the time, you get to playing a game with yourself, trying to figure out what other people do.
How interesting.
Are you going to do a fashion show in Chicago?
Something like that.
I've got a lot of time on my hands. I'd sure like to come and watch.
I'm afraid that can't be arranged. It's strictly for buyers.
Some people have all the luck.
Yes, don't they?
Excuse me.
You do get around, don't you?
A salesman has to meet people.
So I see. I can see some nudnik down there plowing his field. He looks like an ant crawling on the floor. Tell me something, Mr. Samuels. Do you always like to schmeichel people you don't know?
Schmeichel?
Butter up.
You never tell when they might be a customer.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like me not telling jokes to people. They might be customers some night. They'd be hearing it a second time, and there'd be no yucks.
I just started smoking. I like it. Would you care for one?
Might as well, kid. Thank you.
Mr. Samuels, may I have a word with you, please? It's unusual, but our communications at Idlewild has authorized giving you a message.
Do you know who it's from?
The message says, quote, added information, brunette has a male watchdog, unquote.
And that's all?
That's all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Would you care to help yourself?
Are you sure it's all right to eat while you're in the air?
Perfectly all right, Miss Pat.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is quite nice.
What is?
Eating so high above the ground.
Tastes like anywhere else to me.
Oh, it's not the food, it's the atmosphere. It's so exciting.
Kid, I've eaten a lot of meals longer than you have, and I've never found food exciting.
You missed a lot out of life then, Mr. Clayton.
What's the matter? Don't you like the food?
I don't know. I haven't tasted it.
Do you have something against the food?
I have something against everything.
I think we're passing Toledo. It's quite a little town. I played it last year. The audience is very hip. Have you ever been to Toledo, Mr. Samuels?
Toledo? Oh, no, I never have. Miss,
Yes, sir.
how much time before we reach Chicago?
We're over Toledo right now. It should be about 40 minutes.
Thank you. You can take this now.
Okay.
You say Toledo's a real good town, huh?
The best. For a performer, anyway. They treat you with a lot of class. Say, I bet Toledo'd be a great town for a salesman.
I've heard that. Guess I'll have to try to make it one of my stops. Did you enjoy your lunch?
Oh, I always do when I'm traveling. Oh, I have a very big appetite on the road. I don't know why I don't put on tons of weight. I guess it's because I'm a performer and I burn it all up. Oh, it was very good, thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That's a nice-looking makeup kit you have.
Oh, thank you. I got it in a little store on 57th Street just yesterday.
Mind if I look at it? I'm thinking of buying one for my wife.
Oh, sure. But don't look inside.
You act like a spy carrying secret papers.
Oh, something much more important than that.
Oh?
Sure. Have you ever seen your wife's tools of beauty? It's an unwritten code we women have. Never spoil the effect by showing the cause.
Did you enjoy your snack, Miss Pat?
Oh, yes, thank you very much. But do you ever serve curry or anything like that?
Occasionally.
Say, how about seconds?
If you're serious, I think it can be arranged.
Oh, I am. I am.
You know, you don't seem to have a very large appetite, Mr. Clayton.
The last time I went to Chicago, I found a gift shop in Oak Park. Oh, it was my downfall. When I left, I had 6 cents left out of my paycheck. Not even enough for a pack of cigarettes on the flight back. Oh, I'm a real sucker for those gift shops. Like an alcoholic in a distillery.
Pardon me. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me help you. I don't know what made me stumble.
Don't worry about it.
If you put some water on it right away, it might help.
I hate to cause you trouble.
Here, let me take it.
Can't be helped.
I hope I didn't get any on you.
If you had, you would have known it.
I'm not usually that clumsy.
Everybody has their moments.
Well, since I've had mine, would you like to play a game with Jim?
You don't look like the gambling type.
I'm not. Just social. To pass the time.
All right.
Bring your radio along. We might be able to get it to work.
May I take your tray, please?
You want to play 3 across?
I doubt if we have time.
You're probably right. 1 game, 200 points.
It's not for money. What's the difference?
Makes it more interesting when there's an end in view.
I guess so.
Cut for deal.
I always lose when it's for nothing.
And when it's for money,
I'm usually out in front. What are you doing?
maybe I can get it to work.
Are you a radio mechanic?
Not recently.
Then put it back down. I don't want it ruined.
Thought you wanted to hear some music.
Not that badly.
Get it out all right?
Just about. Please forget it. I've done the same thing myself.
You make it easy. Thanks.
Would you like to play a game of gin?
If you'd like, yes.
Stewardess? Will we have a deck of cards, please?
Yes, sir.
Just to make it more informal. My name's Ed Simons.
Mine's Jody. Gin.
You're fast.
We don't have much time.
32 points.
Thank you. Too bad we didn't think of this earlier. We'll be landing soon.
Yes, reading magazines can become a bore.
My deal.
Do you often make the trip to Chicago?
A couple of times a year.
I'll have to blitz you. We only have 15 minutes left.
Not a chance. My hand's too good this time.
I hope so. Otherwise, it might be over now. Gin. I can't figure it out.
Neither can I.
That's not what I mean. My luck never runs this well unless there's money flashed.
Maybe things are changing for you. 42 points. I sure wish I was a buyer. I'd like to see your show. I hear it takes a lot of training to be a high fashion model. Is that right?
Yes, a lot of work and a lot of discipline.
I bet you photograph beautifully. Mind if I look at some of your pictures?
Fortunately, I've never needed pictures.
Your play.
So it is.
How come you can't smoke when you're going down?
You know something? I never gave it much thought. But now that you've asked, it's,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your stewardess, Miss Hallett. On behalf of the entire crew, I would like to thank you for being with us on Flight 729. We have just landed at Chicago's Midway Airport. For your convenience and safety, will you please remain in your seats until the airplane has come to a complete stop at the gate. May I remind you before deplaning to check around the seat area for any personal belongings. It's been a pleasure having you aboard, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed your flight.
Shannon?
That's right.
You understand there are a lot of brunettes on board. Can you give us any help?
Well, I'm not sure about the girl, but that fellow in that black hat is the man you want. He's traveling under the name Denton.
You got a hunch about the girl?
Let me try one more question.
All right.
Pardon me. I just realized I have some influence with some buyers in town. If you tell me where your show is going to be held, I might be able to get in.
At the corner of Dearborn and Polk.
Thanks. I'll see you there. What's at the corner of Dearborn and Polk?
The Dearborn train station. What else?
I think you'll find the jewels in her bag.
Thanks, Shannon. Nice knowing you.
Step number 2. At 3:42 p.m., outside Midway Airport in Chicago, Shannon's suspicion was proved correct. The jewels were found in the purse of the phony model. She, in turn, implicated Denton as the jewel thief.